Hello, beautiful souls. Again, this is Soul Leader. Um, I don't really have any introductions. I'm just here to be a messenger and share my story. Okay, so I wrote these, I'm not going to say ideas, but I was thinking about pain and suffering when I wrote this down the other day. And I wanted to talk about pain and suffering in my situation, meaning my entire life, whether it was friendships, relationships, family, co-workers, bosses, it doesn't matter. And when I talk about the pain, I talk about it being like a crushing pain whenever people had did certain things to me. And the things that felt so crushing was like when I experienced disloyalty, betrayal, deceit, lie. When somebody would lie habitually and lie for no reason, and being overlooked, being used, manipulated, being rejected, jealousy, decisive people. Um, and during that, over my 32 years of life, I don't know. I mean, some people, things can happen to them and they allow whatever happened to them to take over their life and determine their future. But what I've learned in my past 2 going on 3 months of being single is that basically I just seen a message come on my phone talking about my battery full, and that's crazy. I mean, my memory is full, but okay. Um, that just lost my train of thought. Let me go back. Okay, so experiencing those things with people, right? Um, it put me like in a bad place, because I started to think something was always wrong with me. I already had to deal with certain things, dealing with family and friends and stuff like that. But it was a particular relationship that I recently gotten out of. It was over a decade long. And it was, I hate to say horrible, because until I realized who I really am and how everything happened, how fast it happened, it's not like I wasn't aware of what I was dealing with. I only became aware when it was already too late, like I was already too much in love. And not saying that, you know, I was. I mean, I'm a lover. That's me. I'm an empath. But I didn't know I was with a narcissist until, yeah, like I said, it was too late. But the part that gets to me the most is like, for instance, I don't like talking about it with people. If I didn't bring it up, don't talk about it to me. Because normal people come with the idea of thinking, oh, you were, excuse my language, but people would say dumb things like, oh, you was dick down, or that's ignorant, or I would prefer to say sex down only, because I mean, I know I have an issue with cursing and I'm honest about it and trying to change that. But what I don't like is when people laugh. It actually happened to me today with somebody that's not even really my friend, and they haven't even checked on me the whole pandemic, but want me to do something and called me and asked me questions about something that's not their business. And it felt uncomfortable at first, but I caught on, and my responses started to be more godly when I would respond to them, because deep inside I wanted to release a whole nother side on them. But when I realized what they was doing, I'm like, I recognized this spirit before. This is like, even though this is not a romantic partner, it's that same spirit trying to test me. And the laughing was what reminded me of what I went through, like when something seriously was hurting me, and I would related to that person and cry in their face and they showed no emotion, or if they did show an emotion, it was laughing when it wasn't something that wasn't to laugh about. And this person actually did that, laughing and joking like it's funny, until I put them in their place. Like, whatever you think about me, you're totally wrong. I realized that I was almost giving them power, until I kept clarifying that I don't want the person. I may love the person, but I'm not in love. And that love is not enough to keep me there. This person that was even trying to convince me to take the person back, all that. How you going to convince me to take somebody back that you never even seen or don't even know? You don't even know what this person may have done to me, what this person is about, if they is even really a soul inside their body, and you're trying to convince me that I still want somebody. So I basically put them in their place, but I wish that I had caught on as soon as they asked me any question, because the first thing they did came out my mouth was, I don't want to talk about it. It's nothing to talk about. But I caught myself. So now that I know that, and to be aware that that particular spirit, because I'm new to this stuff and I'm learning every day. It's just that person reminded me of somebody that I recently got a relationship with, and it was hard. I felt myself in that moment even trying to explain to that person myself, until I was like, hold on, I ain't gotta explain nothing to you. I really just started just saying what it was, but I made sure I let them know that it was by the grace of God that I came out, and it's not a laughing matter, because I was in a mental prison and I felt like I was dead. And that's nothing to laugh about, because most people who know the old me, that may do know a little something, but don't nobody really know about the situation, because I don't tell them enough, and I breadcrumb them on purpose, because people only want to know what was going on with me, hoping that I'm like in a bad place, and I'm not even in a bad place. Even though what had happened to me, it happened, but it didn't stop anything. It didn't stop the Lord from showing himself through me. The Lord clearly told me, he said, you want to make that channel, make sure you tell your story. I made this channel, I wanted to make this channel for something totally different. For something that, a label that other people put on me that I didn't even put on myself. And he said, no, tell your story, because there's people out here who need to hear your story. Your story will change lives. And here I come to the internet, and I look up certain things, and I watch many videos, and today I was bombarded with so much confirmation that what I'm doing is nothing wrong with it. And yeah, I have looked at stuff that other people have done before I even made this channel, and even while I have this channel, and I seen that, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like nobody else. So that's why I don't edit. That's why I don't do anything more than what, I came here to do, because I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to help someone get out of a situation they feel like they cannot. But let me get back on topic. I gave you a list of things that I felt that I considered pain. And what that pain did to me was make me go within and relive a lot of things, like even to the point when I would tell that person, like, hey, I don't like what you're doing. What you're doing is making me relive my past. This person knows nothing about my past, really. This person don't know what I tell them. This person don't even know that I came from a violent environment. This person had no idea that majority of the things that they put me through, they had no idea that I would easily get through it, because I was already born into some bullshit. Excuse my language, but I meant that. That was some bullshit I was born into. But in spite of what I was born into, I chose to be born in that particular family. I made that agreement, but I forgot about it. And when I realized When everything happened, when the Lord told me all you have to do is just make that one decision. Let me tell you something about suffering from disloyalty, betrayal, deceit, habitual lying for no reason, those type of things, manipulation. I suffered mentally because I was dealing with a narcissist and didn't know it. I heard of the word narcissist. I knew nothing really much about it until, I'm going to say, around 2015, 2016, I started doing some researching on soul ties. Because see, my intuition been speaking to me the whole time. Me going within, me having my conversations with God, writing down prayers, just here and there, writing things down, and being able to go back to Him helped me entirely so much. It got to the point where I realized, like, hold up, something not right with this person. Because how can you be one particular way for almost 2 years, for a year and a half? I'm not going to say 2 years, it was like a year and a half. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, soon something come in that changes everything after you made an agreement with me, let's just say the attention was no longer on that person anymore. That's what happened, because we had a child. Once that child came, the mask came off. It came before the child was even born. It's hard for me to talk about this because I don't want nobody knowing this stuff. But somebody needs to know it, because I'm pretty sure somebody going through something far worse than me. And I'm pretty sure somebody more than likely may have lost their life. There's plenty of people who have lost their lives from not leaving out of a situation. I suffered trust issues. I was already having them based off of my parents. My parents had already shown me not to trust. But my relationship with God teaches me that you can trust. There are people that you can trust. You just got to use your discernment. I was made to feel like something was wrong with me. People will always, act like the grass is greener someplace else, or other people was more fun, and that was whether it was a relationship or friends or not. And it left me feeling like I did something wrong or I was lacking something, and that was never the case. I wasn't lacking anything. It was those people that were lacking. That's why they always were outside of themselves looking for more. The deceit and stuff, it was like having no intention is not having good intention. Meaning you have to do everything with intention. Like when you get up in the morning, what is your intention when you get out the bed in the morning? To what? Wash your face, brush your teeth, have a productive day. You got people who don't wake up that way. It's people who wake up on the wrong side. So their intention is to cause havoc. Those people usually negative, demonic people. I don't see how anybody can just, as soon as you open your eyes, you mad. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, you want to argue. What the hell is there so to be mad about? If anything, if you got time to be mad about petty stuff and not getting your way, you need to be mad about the hunger in the world. You need to be mad about these fake people in power. Did you ever notice who's really coming in power in the world? Is it men? No disrespect, but I noticed this, right? Because there's some things I've been picking up on that I have yet to speak on. And, I got to get my information together first before I speak on it, because I know how the internet is. I know how this world thinks, and I'm not opening myself up to be attacked, because I will straight ignore your ass. Let me see. What else can I get from my notes to talk about? Truth do not live in them and those kind of people, and they gotta tell lies on lies to try to keep their lies. Like, trust me, narcissists don't even remember their own lies. And what I realized, like, in my relationship over time, when I start realizing, like, I really don't like this person, I didn't sign up for this, even though yes, I did sign up for it because I made a choice, but I made a choice not knowing. I was very young, I was very mature, but at the same time I was still naive. I still somewhat acted into my age. This person was older than me. This person felt like they knew more than me. And yes, they did have more experience with relationships, but they didn't have real relationships. They were used to dealing with people who don't hold them accountable. They were used to dealing with people that was similar to them. You know, they was used to dealing with people of the dark. And I'm not from the dark. I am of light. This person, like, when I look overall at, you know, how they treated, how they act, I was able to see me. I am capable of, once I realize the truth or I know what something is, I know how to separate my emotions. And I'm only saying that because at one point in time I was narcissistic too and didn't realize it. You know, and that most of that comes from the environment I grew up in. Now, being as though I can recognize that I did have toxic and negative traits at one point, so that's how I'm able to realize, like, even when I am holding my feelings aside, it don't mean that I don't feel them. I just know how to not show them. You know, like, for me, I don't play mind games with people because at one point in time when I would operate on low vibrational level, I used to play games, but my game playing wasn't like out to hurt people. It was more so with the people that were out to hurt me, so I had to be smarter than them at that game, and I always had to be on top of it or they would get me. And I was always good at it until I ran into this person. But this person came into my life when I had already decided to change my life and I already started going towards my goals and leveling up. So I did deal with that person. There was red flags and God removed them, but also Satan sent them back. And in my mind, at the time, because I always believe there's a purpose with everything, I just thought the Lord was bringing them back. This person gaslighted me, and I had no idea what that was. Everything that I everything I went through in the 10-year period came hitting me, crashing all at once, all within the past 2 months. So everything that I will speak on and tell you about is based off of a period of a decade. And everything that I went through, I already was aware of, but there was like always this one tiny piece in almost every situation I went through that kept me from seeing the truth or admitting the truth to myself, because more so it was me accepting that I was an illusion. And it's not even funny. It was one-sided, you know. Let me see. When I talk about the suffering, what else is suffering from all of these things that I write? I suffered like from being overlooked and indecisive people. So I went through the feelings of you're cool, but you're good, but you're smart, but let me see what else I can get and I'll get right back to you. That's how I usually get treated by people. They just all seem to always know I would be there, but the Lord will show these people. No, and that wasn't always the case. I've had people who was supposed to be my friends, and when I was really in that dark space and really realizing what I got myself into, I had nobody was willing to listen to me. I had no friends, like, and it was the scariest thing. I was crying out to God so much. I thought I did something to deserve what was happening to me, and I started to tell myself, like, well, you chose to be with him, so major bed lying. And I am a person that believes in that. Like, if I did something, because I don't do things with the intention of doing something wrong. It's just if I did something wrong, I didn't know it, and when I found out, I either fixed it or apologized, whatever I had to do to make it right. When I would experience things like being used, I was being used mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and I was being used to be a doormat, a counselor, a therapist, somebody's mother, their father, the pastor, their uncle, their teacher, sister, whatever label that I fit to them, that's what I was to them. And when I look back over all of these relationships, I'm glad that the Lord removed these people from my life. I'm pretty sure these people felt the effect of me being removed from their life, because over the course of 10 years, there's been numerous people trying to find out where I live, what I'm doing, what I do, how I get my money, if I'm down and out. It's people who won't apologize, but your friend will question me. I'm like, when I first seen these things, I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea. I only found out what was going on once I decided to end my relationship. And when I did that, and when I started seeking God again, a whole year ago, I was still like already mentally not there. I had made a decision not to be there. I had to do that, I really had to do that. Because if I had not done that, I would not be saved. I would have not been saved or saved. Matter of fact, what else I wanted to put in there? Because I be writing these notes, but what I'm about to start doing is just making them into bullets, because I do a lot of writing, and the writing I do in my personal journal is not just like for me to just read in a video. I just read over them and just speak on it, but I keep it for my own personal use in case I need to revisit things. It's always a ton of stuff for me to read. Let me see. I dealt with the jealousy, manipulation. So when I dealt with the jealousy and the manipulation and stuff like that, I didn't realize that the person I was with was jealous of me until like a few days ago. And it came to me that they was, because overall I remember when I was not in the best situation, and I made some changes that I shouldn't have made, but they had to be made, because it was either have a roof over your head or pay for a booth in a salon. And I chose to have a roof over my head before I make sure somebody else lights in their salon stay on. Okay, so when I was going through that period of letting some things go and whatever, I didn't have much money, and I was barely struggling. And this person had way more money than me at the time, and I went from looking hot and going after my goals and stuff to actually being average like everybody else. And that disturbed me, because it's not like I did it on purpose. I felt like I was a puppet and somebody else was orchestrating my life. That's how serious it was. I didn't know I was being spiritually attacked. I told you, my discernment was nowhere where it is now, even though all my life I've always had a connection with God, and still do. Now, during that time in my life, I got fed up, because this person had crossed me twice by that time. And by the time it became a second time, it was shame on me. And I had nowhere to go. I didn't want to go in the shelter with my 2 kids, because my second daughter was only at least 6-7 months. And I just didn't want to accept the fact that I was making myself into a statistic. And it was hard, because I really believed that that person was in love with me. That's what the illusion was. But I was believing these things, and I was young. I was so innocent, and I think that's what breaks my heart so much about it. It's because just realizing that it was all planned from the beginning, once I realized who I was dealing with, and that's what made the situation sick. And the fact that children 4 of them were born out the situation. Now I've had people say things to me like, oh, why did you have so many kids? What is so freaking hard about understanding why somebody would be in a situation? People got to stop judging other people and assuming somebody's dumb or can't do something. Once the heart is involved, it's hard to unlove somebody. It's hard to break an illusion. You can't do that by yourself. You don't even have the strength to do certain stuff. You know, so laughing at a man or a female, calling them dumb, and they not dumb. You're not ever wrong for loving somebody, because God is love. How can you be wrong for giving somebody something that is needed in this earth? You know, I would not ever feel bad for having my 4 kids. My 4 kids is the reason I'm still here today. If I had not had them, I probably would have gave up. I had my moments of wanting to kill myself, not realizing why I wanted to kill myself, not knowing that that was something somebody else was wishing on me, and it became my thought. It wasn't my thoughts. I literally had that thought more than once, you know, and I didn't know that somebody was doing this stuff to me. The things I found out is so sick. What else did I want to talk about this? Right, they didn't ask to be here, but we agreed to be here. Right. So I'm gonna stop looking at my notes and just talk about suffering. And like, to suffer, in my opinion, sometimes you could suffer and not know you suffering, but then there's that other side to it, like saying to suffer is, sometimes we make a choice to suffer, and that's what I was doing. I was choosing to suffer about something that wasn't worth it. And the Lord said, not my chosen one. And that's the part why I'm laughing at myself, because I've always had these feelings and thoughts, right? But I couldn't put my finger on it until when I was met with this situation and the Lord was telling me to leave. I didn't want to. And that's when it became a fight, a struggle. That's why it turned into 10 years of something it didn't need to be. I wanted something that wasn't good for me. But the Lord said, I will get my glory out this situation. I'm not just going to let my baby sit there and keep weeping over some soulless peasant who, I'm not going to call nobody no names. I can't even take it back because I already put it out there. But that's just how I feel. I feel like that person is soulless. They even admitted to me that they sold their soul. There's some things this person said to me that let me know you are not of the light. You know, you had opportunity to change your life over and come to God, but you are not of the light. Not with the things that I know about this person. And just knowing that they got everybody tricked. So many people believe in that they're this and that. So many people believe in lies about me, but I could care less about the people who believe lies about me, because the people who believe them don't know a damn thing about me, don't even know me, because if they did, they would have all treated me better. You know, I suffered a lot, not just at the hands of that person, but the people in their circle. And this is not bashing nobody, and this is not even talk about them. I'm just saying I suffered at the hands of the people around him based off of whatever lies he well, at least you know him. Oh goodness, I'm trying to say too much. But whatever lies he would tell people, I guess they believed him, because sometimes I found people trying to treat me as such. But I was suffering. I made that choice to suffer, and I regret doing so. What I will tell you is this: never go against yourself, because going against yourself, I'm getting a download. Oh my goodness. Never go against yourself, because that is the same as going against God. And being as though me and this person mirrored each other. This person was selfish. I was selfless. So with me being selfless, I gave so much of myself and so much of my power that I started to look different, act different, be different. I started to be negative. I started to take on too much of this person's personality. Like, it's sickening. It was like all while I started looking different, I started gaining weight, I started turning into the opposite of what I wanted to be and who I knew I was at the time, because I'm no longer that person. This whole situation changed me so much that no, I don't never even wish to be that person again, because that person was not such a good person. But what I'm saying is, it pushed me closer to God, and it also made me a better individual on this earth. All while that person was stealing my power, I was able to gain my power back by the grace of God. I started picking up on things about them. I started noticing that when I would tell them things and when we get in an argument, they would throw it back up in my face. So instantly I took a mental note to not tell them anything, not to have deeper conversations, and that it is not safe to open up with them. So instantly I knew that the space wasn't safe, and instantly I knew that the place that I was living in was not my home. I didn't call it home. It was called house. I'm dead serious, it was. Because if I can't be safe with you, then even if we living in a house together, it cannot be called home. Because the home starts with us. And if I'm not safe with you, I'm not even really safe living with you anyway. Also, I started paying attention to the times when they were home. I started paying attention to when it was like my paydays, or when I was getting some type of money coming in, that they would show up. But of all days, they always in and out, in and out, in and out. I started paying attention to the fact of when we had sex, it was when they wanted to. I paid attention to the times when it would happen. Everything. I started paying attention to everything, because just this person thought they was smarter than me. This person didn't even know how smart I am. They knew I was smart. They know I'm smart. Like that's the part. It's like, you know things, and even if you wasn't sure, you still did stuff like somebody's a dummy. Now, maybe because I played like I was dumb, but far from it. See, this is the thing. I'm the type of person that I observe people, places, and things first. I read energy. I don't match energy. Your energy negative, I don't even see you anyway. I don't. Please. Of course, darkness will see light. I blind a lot of people. People be mad for no reason. And I'm not saying like tooting my horn. This is me noticing this since a child, because I am so humble. I come from a place where I was wearing pro wings. I was walking around with holes in my shoes. I was walking around only having 5 pair of jeans to change into. I was walking around eating just oodles and noodles and boiled eggs, stuff like that. So anything I say, the Lord tell me, like, don't diminish who you are. Right. And that's what he's saying to me right now. Like, you know, for a minute there, I wouldn't say good things like this about myself, because I felt like it was boasting or arrogant, and I'm not arrogant. Far from it. It's just that my confidence is in the Lord, you know, and I believe what the Lord says about me. I've been on this video for about 33 minutes. Let me see if it's something else I could think of to let you know about being with narcissists and sick individuals who really don't love you. Let me share this one part. It got to the point where, as though, when I start realizing this person wasn't given to me, like, this person, the most money I ever got out this person at one time was $50. It got to the point this person started showing me that they don't give a shit if the lights is on or not. I'm watching this person get nice cars and all that. But what they didn't notice was, every time they did something to me, something happened to whatever they put their money into, or something happened to them, they didn't even notice. I've been noticing this happen to people all my life. Anytime somebody did something to me, woo, I would not want to be them. And I tried to warn this person when we had already broken up, and I tried to have that last conversation. And he heard everything I was saying. And I could read their emotions. I was saying that they were shocked at the things I was saying, that I was revealing things to them that they did not know. I seen it in their face that they wish they didn't do certain stuff. When I admitted how I was always treated, when I admitted what happens to people. I told them about one situation that almost took somebody's life. I had no idea it was happening to the person. It's just like, the thing is, what I noticed was that, but I'm not gonna say I didn't know I was chosen though. When I noticed that these things were happening to people, I'm like, dang, all it was an argument. My goodness, but the Lord don't play about his. He don't. I realize that now. I tried to warn that person before things got the way that it is, but now they stuck in whatever they stuck in. And as much as I know what was done to me being my empathetic self, I was trying my best to send them towards the light, trying my best to show them a way to get through this, trying my best to show them themselves. Like when they said to me that they didn't want to believe those things about themselves, that's when I knew that I was breaking them down. When they were doing all the crying now and not me. When I can elegantly talk to them about what they done to me and sit in their face and talk about it, but it bothered them. I could talk about hard stuff. This person can't. This person will sit up here and rather go tit for tat and be right, but the whole time wrong. I would allow them to think they right because being right was more important than my feelings. So that's when I went and got another job. Well, I switched over to a better job. But with that better job, it kept me from being with my kids. And during that time, since I spent so much time away from home and not giving that person attention, that gave them a chance to go out and try to start what they had with me. Look, trying to find it in other people, but couldn't find it in them. And always came back to me. You know, it was like I was their mother. I ain't even know it until I thought about it, until I realized, I'm like, oh, their mother air sign, I'm an air sign. Oh, shoot, their mother does this and that, and so do I. But the difference is I'm not raising my kids a particular way. And I apologize to my kids. I have conversations with my kids. I show my kids that they are important. I even talk to my kids about not details and stuff, but I talk to them about what I've been experiencing. They do know that something was wrong because they even told me, you know, and I let them know, like, I'm healing and you'll have the mom that you really need and the mom that you're used to having. So anyway, to get back on topic about that job, when I did that, they start doing whatever they be doing. And of course, I was still tied into them, and it pissed me off, the things I found out. But eventually, they would do things to get me back every time. It was like a cycle that I didn't know I was in. And so I switched from that one job to getting to the job I still have now and making way, way more than what I was with moving to the other one that was better. And I went from being told that I couldn't make bail money to everybody ain't got no 9 to 5 like you. And so when I started hearing that, it reminded me of the same spirit I was seeing people who were supposed to be my friends when they would say dumb stuff like, everybody don't do hair like you. Everybody ain't got no job like you. Like, look, when I seen that, I was like, I didn't realize it until a few days ago. Like, hold up, this person really was jealous of me. And I started hearing it more and more and more. But then I thought about it. I was like, but this person ain't had no problem with their hand out. Everybody wanted to talk about how much I was at work. Shoot, a smart person would applaud me as much as I was at work, trying to make sure things happen. But I didn't like that. Having to work under somebody else's rules. Having to do all of this and label because somebody around me didn't want to be a man. Or they wasn't even taught how to be one. I do have empathy for that person because I feel sorry for them. You know, they ain't nothing but a grown child. And I'm not saying I wasn't either. I ain't realized I need to heal my inner child until a year ago when my inner child stuff started showing up all at once and I recognized it. This person don't have that gift to do. I naturally have the gift to do inner work. I've not always done that, especially if I didn't like the feedback I'm getting from others when people are putting labels on me that's not true about myself. I would go within. If I realized that was the problem, I would fix it. If I realized the problem was really everybody else, I wouldn't fix nothing. I would just tell them off. That was about it. But back to the story about getting the money, and I've been holding it down since 2016 with doing that and switching from one job to the next, just like all in 1 year. And everything I asked for actually did happen, just not the way that I saw it. You know, the Lord, eventually the tables turned. He started blessing me right in their face. And now I'm looking at where they are, and it's not even funny. Because this was the same person that always talk about how stuff used to be and what they used to have. And when I think about the things they have now, like, I'm like, damn, they only got it because of me. You know, I'm pretty sure whatever chick, which is, I'm not talking about this like a kid because I don't care about it no more. It just, because it's so fresh, it still like, it still bothers me a little bit. Like, I'm not no year or two into this. I'm just a few months into this. So, you know, my mind is still trying to wrap around accepting that it was an illusion and accepting the fact that I had to do what I had to do is follow God's words and God's orders, you know. You know, when I think about it, this all happened for the greater good. Because even though I'm disappointed and not getting that one thing I wanted, which was a husband, I have everything else I asked for. And I have a place that I can call home that no one tells me to get out of. I'm able to decorate and nobody can move anything. I'm able to have access to my own home, whereas though I control who comes in and out of my place. And whereas though I can be in my his place and I ain't got to work with nobody coming in my home while I'm not there. Or I don't have to worry about sneaky links and stuff like that. It's like I chose peace over stress. And that irritated the person. This person act like I was supposed to stay there and let them do whatever they want. I am a natural born leader. Leaders don't follow other people. And that's the thing. When I'm always met with people who can't control me, they always get angry. You know, when I'm met with people who want me to be a puppet, they always get angry. And most of them, particularly if they're female, they do it in a way of from a distance. They won't do it in my face. But the men, I've only had one man actually do that to me. But knowing what I know now, I know to be aware. I think that's all I have, really talking about the pain and suffering about the situation. But I know what I really wanted to say. Let me read that list of things that I considered that was painful to me. Disloyalty, betrayal, deceit, lies, the habitual lying, the lying for no reason, the being overlooked, the use, the manipulation, the jealousy, the decisive people. What I can tell you is those are all terms of people who are not, I'm not going to say they not of light, because they are, well, yeah, they not of light, because these are not words that I would use for any Christian, any spiritual person. I wouldn't use this for people of light. When you're met with disloyalty, betrayal, and deceit, habitual lying, people rejecting you and using you, manipulate you, run. There's nothing to think about. You better put what love got to do with it. And I'm only saying that because now I'm in a space that I'm okay with saying it. I wasn't always in this space of accepting I mean, I always accept things, but it's like a choice. And having this peace feels so great to be able to write again, to be able to have a song in my head off the top, to be able to sing songs to God and hear him. I keep saying I won't say him or her for particular reasons. No disrespect. I just like to acknowledge God as God. That's all. No disrespect. But I just lost my thought. That's why I hate when I look away. I hate when I look away. I'm getting more confident the more I make these videos and speaking. I have struggled with my looks over the years from being with this person, when no matter what, I've always been confident whether I'm big or small, you know. So sometimes when I am in this camera and I see myself, I'm kind of shocked, because it took me a long time to actually look in the mirror. I can actually look at myself in the mirror and not feel shame, not look down. When I look in the mirror now, I see my youthful face. My skin is clear. I'm smiling. You know, my teeth are not all straight, but they're pretty when I smile. You know, I'm looking at how shiny my nose is again. I see the light in my eyes again, you know. And look at me, I got locks now. This is something I would have not ever done before, you know. So, like, don't mind me when you see me fidgeting, looking away and doing stuff. It's just me just trying to get comfortable with delivering the messages, because I'm really not here to look any particular way. That's why you won't see me put on a bunch of makeup. If I have anything on and I look dressed up, it's because of whatever I was doing that day. But my son is woke, so I'm gonna end this video right now, and I'll see you all tomorrow on my next video. Peace and blessings.